Next up at UFC 268, we have the opening fight of the main card. We have Frankie Edgar versus Marlon Chito Vera. Frankie Edgar, 24-9 overall, 2-3 in his last 5, coming off of that really bad KO loss to Sandhagen about 8 months ago. Marlon Vera, 19-7 overall, 3-2 in his last 5, alternating wins and losses. Frankie is the epitome of Jersey tough. He's the former lightweight champion of the world. He has had absolute wars with Gray Maynard, BJ Penn, Jose Aldo, and almost everybody in those lighter weight classes. Similar to Glover, we've seen him like 90% knocked out and then just claw his way back to life and then pull off the win either by knockout or just come out the next round like nothing ever happened. He's, again, insanely tough. He spent the majority of his career at 155, but cut 0 weight. He was always a smaller guy who relied on his speed. He relied on his boxing skills and his footwork to set up takedowns and his in and out style boxing. His feet never stop moving. He is starting to show his age. This fight is at 135, and this is where he has been in his last few fights, trying to sort of restart his career, hoping to have more success later in life. Marlon Vera, Muay Thai striker. He likes to fight ugly. He uses all 8 of his limbs. You've heard me say that before. That's sort of a Muay Thai mantra there.
9 for me.
Elbows, knees, hands, and feet for a pretty versatile attack style. And to round out his dangerous striking, he also has legitimate submissions and is a submission threat inside the cage with an iron jaw. He's got a ton of stoppage upside and finishes. Marlon Vera is absolutely the real deal. Listen, Frankie is better.
You're not going to pick against your boy. It sounds like you're going to pick against your boy.
Frankie, he's my boy because we're both Italian from the Northeast.
Frankie, you love Frankie. I know you love Frankie.
I do love Frankie.
Don't try to hide it. Don't try to hide it.
Frankie is better everywhere. His footwork is better. His wrestling is better. His cardio is better. What?
No, I said 10 years ago. Go ahead. Sorry.
His footwork's better. His cardio is better. His wrestling is better. His boxing is probably better. But his chin is not better. And that can be the real issue at this fight. At his core, Frankie Edgar is a Jersey wrestler. If you don't know about wrestling, Jersey and Pennsylvania produce the best wrestlers in the country.
Arkansas.
Don't mention Arkansas. I don't even know.
Arkansas wrestling.
Jersey and Pennsylvania, and he is a true Jersey wrestler. I know he's out there training with Steve Rivera, putting in the wrestling rounds. And if he's going to go out there and wrestle, and I could be confident in that, and he's going to go to his roots, Frank Edgar is the pick 100% of the time, even though Marlon Vera has a 69% takedown defense.
Nice.
I just, the pick is so tough here because I don't trust Frankie's chin. If Frankie is going to go out there and wrestle, Frankie's the pick every day, all day, no problem. If he's going to mix it up with his boxing, where he has had success in the past, but he is too old to be mixing it up, then Marlon Vera will find him and will probably catch him. On my spreadsheet here, I have a check mark next to Frankie Edgar. I'm ride or dying with Frankie Edgar. I have to hope and assume
Lock of the week.
That he will go out there with a wrestling game plan. He just watched Glover at 42 years old avoid the big strikes, implement some grappling, and actually Glover got it done with a big left hook. But hopefully he saw that and said, I need to wrestle, and he's going to wrestle. I got Frankie here. I don't know what to do with the bets because his chin straight up worries me. It's almost similar to last week with Lerone Murphy and Amir Khani, where Amir Khani had incredible success in round 1 and then just was absolutely flatlined in round 2. Frankie's the pick, man. Got to stick with my people. What are your thoughts?
Well, Vera's the pick here. The only thing I really have in my notes, as you mentioned, is obviously the takedowns from Frankie. You got to wrestle. But you got to be smart about that because Cheeto is no joke in his jiu-jitsu as well, and he is long. So even in his guard, he'll throw up some wild stuff that Frankie's got to be careful about because Frankie's kind of one of those short, stubby guys like yourself. And then I have leg kicks too. I think that you can really chew up that front leg of Cheeto. He likes to be heavy on that way in the striking. I think you throw some leg kicks, you mix that in with the takedowns. and Frankie's got an outside chance to sneak out an ugly decision. But I think the play is Cheeto all the way. I'm glad he didn't mention the Sean O'Malley thing. He was not going to win that fight against Sean O'Malley, okay? He was going to get destroyed by Sean O'Malley. I watched the fight not 10 minutes ago. Sean O'Malley was going to dominate that fight, but Cheeto Vera is the play versus Frankie Edgar. He's just on the upswing of his career. I think he's going to get go on a little streak here, and it starts with Frankie Edgar. I like Marlon Vera on this.
And listen, and let's just very quickly, not to trash.
And it's crazy too. First of all, it's crazy too. Cheeto, to me, in my mind, is like a 35, 36-year-old guy. The guy's 28 years old. So, I mean, he's still there, man.
Let's put it this way. I mean, and I feel like people need some perspective here because everybody is on the Marlon Vera train. Oh, Frankie Edgar's washed up. Yeah, he was knocked out in like 30 seconds. Honestly, getting knocked out in 30 seconds says less about you than getting knocked out in 5 minutes. There was no fight to see. It was a leaping, jumping knee to the chin. He's a little older. It caught him. But take a real look at Cheeto Vera. Are you picking Cheeto Vera because of him and his skill set, or because you don't trust Frankie Edgar? The reality is,
I think Cheeto's a very good fighter. I think he's a very good fighter.
Dude, he's alternating wins and losses, and one of those wins is the nonsense one against Sean O'Malley.
The other ones were versus Yadong Song and Jose Aldo, and it was a decision versus Jose. So
that's because styles make fights. And that was an interesting style. And I guarantee if he fought Jose Aldo today, the same way Jose Aldo just fought, who did he fight? Shane? Or what's his name? It'd be very different. Listen, I think Marlon Vera is getting more love and attention than he should for being 19-7. He should be 18-8. That's a lot of love, a lot of attention. With that being said, Frankie's chin is the big question mark here. So if Marlon Vera knocks him out cold, I get it. Frankie's a little older, but I can't see Marlon Vera winning a decision against Frankie Edgar. Frankie's a better grappler. Frankie has the better movement. Frankie's got better cardio.
He's not a better grappler. He's a better wrestler.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Better wrestler, but his defensive grappling, you're not submitting Frankie Edgar. It's not going to happen. I don't care what you're throwing up. Anyway, DraftKings. It sounds like you're good with $8,800 because you think you'll get a stoppage?
No thanks. Because I mean, there is the wrestling.
Isn't that interesting? Look how quickly the house crumbles.
No, I mean there is the wrestling threat, and Marlon Vera is not a dynamic striker enough to withstand the wrestling. If he was just this knockout artist like crazy, I wouldn't care about Frankie's wrestling. But he's not. He could be heavy on that lead foot. You knock it down a little bit, you get a couple takedowns. But I don't see it happening. But it is Frankie, and you mentioned he is Jersey tough. So
all right, there we go. Well. That crumbled very quickly, so I obviously like Frankie at $7,400. What do you think of this Monkey Knife Fight line?
Seems like a lot of strikes because neither one of them is really a volume guy, and if you mix in takedowns too, because those takedowns aren't going to be easy in my mind, so it could be some grinding on the cage. I probably play the less.
It's a tough line because Frankie is kind of a volume guy. Dude, his feet never stop moving. He's just always throwing 1-2 step to the left.
Yeah, you don't punch with your
step
feet
to the right. So he's always moving. If the round line, somebody just said the round line is 1.5. If the round line is 1.5, I'm hitting the over on that round line for sure. I'm not sure if that's the round line though. If it is, I'm slamming the over unless it's like -200. But I do think this goes a little bit. Listen, Frankie getting knocked down 30 seconds says nothing about anybody. Marlon Vera is not going to do a wild flying knee and catch that. So
Frankie in 5 rounds versus Holloway only landed 96 total strikes. Okay. And was 1 for 15 on takedowns. Ugh.
Yeah, that is not great. Good stat. So maybe the less. It is a tough round line. I do think it goes.
And against Cub Swanson in a 3-round fight, he only landed 60.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So those are our picks. We'll go ahead and play this one out. This may be a good live odds type situation. See if what that movement looks like for Frankie. You're the streak guy. Win loss. He just won. He's due for a loss. Either way, we'll see what happens. Don't forget, go to wewantpicks.com/bets and make a deposit. We have 3 different betting partners to work with. Grab one, jump in, make a deposit, reach out, let me know after you did, and I will send you $50, however you want it, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All I need from you is your username, screenshot of deposit. I'll get you paid. Thank you very much for the watch. Like, subscribe, do all the things, and claim your free money.